Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video we are going to be talking about hamster care. I've done videos like clean my hamster cage and all that, but I never have done a video about like the one-on-one hamster care stuff. So I've had a hamster now for about a year and I think would say like 5 or 6 months. So I have a hamster named Snowball, and if you've probably seen videos, if you've been here before on my channel, you've probably seen videos about cleaning my room and about my hamster. But today we're just going to be talking about one-on-one tips and tricks about your hamster. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is there's a lot of different styles of hamster cages, but I would say the most common is like the fun confetti carefresh bedding and just like the wheels and the hides and the toys and all that. But I'm going to be talking about mine, which it has white bedding and then it has two houses and then a wheel, water, and food. So I'm just going to be talking about my cage and my experience and everything like that. So you definitely can go for a more natural look or you can go for a less natural look. I went for in between a little bit. Like I have a bright neon green wheel, but then I also have white bedding with wooden hides. So you can definitely mix it up and do whatever you want. But I would definitely say the first thing that I am going to talk about is the bedding. Bedding is very, very important, not to get really, I would say the easiest bedding that you can get is Carefresh. There's so many different colors, but I would say definitely Carefresh is the easiest. And I would say if you're going for natural, do the brown, gray, or white. Those are the most natural in my mind. But also you can do certain like pine shavings and all of this stuff. You can do shred paper too, but definitely the easiest and just the one I've always used is the Carefresh. I know a friend that had a hamster and that used paper shreds, but you don't want them to like burrow and then like maybe hurt their skin or whatever. I would just say Carefresh, best thing that you can do for bedding. Okay, the second thing I'm going to be talking about is wheels. So there's a saucer wheel and there's just a normal wheel. I would definitely say it doesn't really matter, but you for picking a wheel for your hamster, you need it to fit in the cage. It can't be popping out of the cage, and depending on your size for your hamster, you have to pick the wheel. But if your hamster's back kind of curves when turning on the wheel, it needs to make sure it's flat. And it can't be the holy wheel. It needs to make sure it's all covered because they can get something on their hands that make it all bumpy, and that can be really bad for their health. And then the next thing we are going to be talking about is all their hides. So you can definitely get a whole bunch of different hides. If you find wood out, you need to look into how to make sure it's safe. I'm pretty sure you have to boil it. I've never done it before. I've just always, you can use some lizard hides. Just make sure they're not like open wood or treated wood. And I have one wooden hide that's just wood, and then I have another one that's like colored, but you have to make sure the color, if you're doing it, is animal safe. But pretty much every wood that you buy at a pet store should be wood safe. Okay, now one of the last things that we're going to be talking about hamsters is feeding. So food, you need a lot of protein. And you can feed them fresh fruits and vegetables like tomatoes, grapes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But you have to make sure you look into it. You can't just go off one person says. You have to look into it. But you can feed them a whole bunch of different varieties of foods that you probably have around your house. But the food that I use the most, I actually don't have the bag because I just put it in the jar. But basically, some seeds are sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, pieces of corn, and other little seeds and everything. So this food is really good. I've used it for forever. This is all that I've used. And I also some treat ideas are these ones. These are the Organic Rewards Barely biscuits. These are just the animal biscuits for rabbits, guinea pigs, chinchillas, and other small pets. And this gives some protein. So these will help you bond with your pets. These are organic, and they also have a lot of protein for your hamsters that they need. Okay, so moving on, we are going to be talking about water. So you're probably like, there's not much to water, it's just water. That is true, but you also you can either have the little big water feeder, or you can have a dish. If you're not always going to change your water dish, don't have a dish. But if you change it every day and all this stuff, then you can, but I think it's most easier to have just the water feeder. Okay, but now we are going to be talking about cage sizes. So for a cage, you're going to need, the cage I have is a 2 feet by 5 inches long and 12 feet, a foot high and a foot long. So a little bit more than 2 feet long, a foot wide, and a foot high. So you definitely will need a cage so you can definitely have a 20-gallon tank, but depending on your hamster size, dwarf hamsters need 20 to 30, and then having a Syrian could be 30 to 40, depending on whatever you can afford and what they need to live. So yeah, so this concludes the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you will use these tips and tricks for your hamster. And yeah, I hope this covers a lot of things that you were wondering. And yeah, but one last thing is, how often would you clean your hamster cage? If it is a bigger cage, you can spot clean it, which you can look on other videos of how to spot clean. But then also you can clean it once a week and take some of the bedding out. Don't take all the bedding out, because then they will be worried about where did the smell go, and they will have to adapt to it all over again. But yeah, I'll definitely be making more videos like this, and if you enjoyed, please give a big thumbs up and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!